What's up, everybody? It's Conesy here. Special shout out to Falker22. 22, as in missing 22nd chromosome. And today we're looking at the playoff race because in the AFC and the NFC, it is crazy this year. So we're going to start with the AFC. We got the 12-1-1 Bengals. They're looking pretty comfortable at the top. The Broncos are 12-2. The Jaguars are in the third seed at 11-3. We got to go down a little bit to see the fourth seed, but we have the Bills at 7-7, the Dolphins at 7-8, and the Patriots at 6-8. So as always, the AFC East is up for grabs. When you start looking at the wild card, it gets even more interesting. We have the Chiefs looking pretty comfortable at the 5th seed. But then at the 6th seed, we have an interesting race here. We have the Ravens at 9-5 and the Browns at 8-6. It is important to realize that the Browns have beaten the Ravens 2 times this year, and when it comes down to tiebreakers, the Browns could end up taking the 6th seed over the Ravens if they tie. Now we're looking at the NFC, the 13-1 Giants. They got their first loss to the Eagles last week. At 2, we have the Buccaneers right now. At 3, we have the 10-4 Seahawks. And then at 4, we have the 8-6 Vikings. The 5th seed looks pretty interesting. It could be any one of the 3. The Eagles at 10-4, the Redskins at 10-4, or the Falcons. It's also important to realize that the Panthers are not out of it. It looked like the Panthers weren't going to have a chance for the playoff race, but if they sweep out and the other 3 teams that are vying for that 6th spot or that 5th spot fall out, the Panthers could find themselves in the playoffs. So now, let's go take a look at each of these teams' remaining schedules. Alright, we're going to start our schedule outlook by looking at the Bengals. The Bengals sit at 12-1-1. At the end of the season, I think they pick up one of the games and drop one of the games. They lose to the Lions, and they beat the Ravens to increase their record to 13-2-1. The Broncos have a difficult schedule at the end of the season. They have the Redskins, who are fighting for their lives to get a playoff spot. They drop that game. Another team that is fighting to secure their playoff spot, the Chiefs, they also drop that game. The Broncos go to 12-4 to end the season. The Jacksonville Jaguars play the 49ers and the Titans to end the season. I have the Jaguars winning out and increasing their record to 13-3. In the AFC East, we have the 3-team split. I have the Dolphins versus the Bills week 17. I believe the Dolphins pick this up and they increase their record to 8-8. The Bills have the Patriots and the Dolphins. I believe the Bills beat the Patriots and lose to the Dolphins. This would put the Bills at 8-8. And finally, we have the Patriots. The Patriots play the Bills and the Jets. As I've already said, they lose to the Bills, and I believe they beat the Jets to increase their record to 7-9 and just miss playoffs. It'll come down to the Dolphins and the Bills. The Kansas City Chiefs face the Broncos in week 17. As I've already said when I talked about the Broncos, the Chiefs win here to increase their record to 11-5. Now looking for that really tight 6th seed, we have the Browns, who play the Bears and the Steelers. I believe that the Browns will defeat the Bears and the Steelers to increase their record to 10-6. The Ravens play the Colts and the Bengals to end the season. I believe they beat the Colts and they lose to the Bengals and they increase their record to 10-6. And as a bit of a wrap up for the AFC playoff seedings, the new standings after these supposed wins and losses, the Bengals still sit atop of the conference at 13-2-1. A new number 2 arises. The Jaguars take the 2nd spot at 13-3. The Broncos still win their division at 12-4. The AFC East is a dogfight between the Bills and the Dolphins. The 5th spot is the Chiefs at 11-5. And the Ravens and the Browns, another dogfight. Another set of tied records. It'll all come down to the tiebreakers. And as we all know in Madden, the tiebreakers are not foolproof. So now, let's take a look at the NFC playoff race. starting with the Giants. The 13-1 Giants go against the Cardinals and the Redskins to end the season, and I think they get a 1-1 split, beating the Cardinals and losing to the Redskins. Their new record would be 14-2. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers face the Panthers and the Saints to end the season, and I think they get a clean sweep, go 2-0, and end the season 13-3. The Seahawks face the Cowboys and the Cardinals. I believe they also get a clean sweep, and they end the season 12-4. The Minnesota Vikings play the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears to end the season. I believe they get a 1-1 split, losing to the Packers and beating the Bears to finish 9-7. The Eagles finish their season playing the Raiders and the Cowboys. I believe they lose to the Raiders, and I believe they beat the Cowboys to get a 1-1 split and increase their record to 11-5. The Falcons play the Saints and the Panthers. I believe the Falcons get a clean sweep, and they increase their record to 12-4. The Redskins play the Broncos and the Giants to end their season. I believe they win both games, and they improve their record to 12-4. The Panthers, who I mentioned had a chance for playoffs earlier, will face the Buccaneers and the Falcons. I've already said they lost both of these games, and they are out at 9-7. The new NFC standings after these wins and losses: the Giants 14-2, the Buccaneers 13-3, the Seahawks 12-4, and the Vikings at 9-7 are your division winners. The fifth wild card spot would be either the Skins or the Falcons at 12-4. The Eagles would miss playoffs at 11-5. If you like that video, make sure you like and subscribe to keep up with all of the future NNFL content. If you want to keep up with stats and standings in between videos, visit our site at daddyleagues.com/NNFL. Also, we're on Twitter now, so I'm going to have a link for that somewhere on the video or in the description. Also in the description are all of the stream links, whether it's Mixer or Twitch, so check that out if you want to watch some of our games. And as always, if you have any idea for any future videos, leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.